More than a quarter century ago, in a circumstance much like this today, I said that Austin lost its innocence. Today, we have some closure.
The overwhelming weight of the evidence points to the guilt of one man.
I think that this is a Ted Bundy level serial killer type.
For more than 30 years, the city of Austin has been asking, who killed these girls?
One of the most horrific murders in Texas history. It is a crime that has haunted this community ever since.
4 teenage girls, 13-year-old Amy Ayers, 17-year-old Eliza Thomas, and sisters Jennifer Harbison, 17, and Sarah Harbison, 15, were brutally murdered at a local yogurt shop. The crime scene then set on fire, the inferno destroying key evidence, the community shaken to its core. Sonora Thomas is Eliza's sister. She was 13 years old when the unthinkable happened.
I just remember my body started shaking and my teeth started chattering, and I couldn't really even hear what was being said.
Barbara Wilson shares Sonora's pain. Her 2 daughters, Jennifer and Sarah, were killed alongside Eliza.
They were loving children. They were happy and they helped others. They were just any wonderful thing you can think of. They were just my buddies.
For decades, the case remained unsolved.
On December 6, 1991, we as a city lost our innocence. Today, we regain our confidence.
2 young men even wrongly convicted of the crime and later set free.
They were bringing in anybody who was a little bit different.
No, just one of I killed somebody.
Then, this summer, the story of the murders gaining renewed attention with HBO's The Yogurt Shop Murders. But now, 34 years later, Austin officials say they believe they finally have the answer to the city's most painful question.
We now have evidence linking a specific individual to this case.
Thanks to advances in ballistic and DNA technology, investigators have identified this man, Robert Eugene Brashers, as the suspect who killed the 4 teenagers.
I am grateful for the advancements in science and technology that have allowed us to uncover this critical evidence.
I promised the family that day I would never give up on this case.
Authorities say the serial killer was linked to a spate of murders in the 90s, including the murder of a Missouri mother and daughter in 1998. Brashers died by suicide in 1999 during a standoff with police for an unrelated crime.
It was absolutely surreal when I saw this man's name as responsible for this really high-profile case that I was so familiar with.
The families of the victims say they are finally getting the answers they've been waiting for so long.
I'd like to first thank God for the strength and perseverance for the last 34 years to finally have a little end to it. At one point, I had given up on God, but he never gave up on me, and I am thankful for that.
It has been so long, and all we ever wanted for this case was the truth.
In 1991, Austin, Texas was a peaceful, small city. Violent crime was nearly non-existent. That all changed on December 6th. Authorities responded to a fire at a I can't believe it's yogurt shop. Inside, they discovered a horrific crime scene. The bodies of the 4 young girls were found bound, gagged, and shot in the head with a pistol.
There was evidence of sexual assault. Some of the only really physical evidence that was recovered was a spent .380 shell casing that was located in the floor drain.
When they were killed, all I could think about is I wasn't with them. They had to go through that by themselves.
At the time, the families of the girls spoke with our ABC affiliate, KVUE.
If they catch them tomorrow, I say hang them the next day.
They need to suffer. I'm sorry, but we're suffering every day. It's not getting any better.
Including Barbara.
He scared my baby girls. Those people scared my baby girls, and my baby girls would not have hurt anyone, ever.
And there's 13-year-old Sonora with her mother.
Nothing will make me feel better. The only thing that would help at the moment is Eliza coming in the door.
My family was in such a crisis. My mom just kind of retreated into her bedroom. She was so depressed. I was lost in finding people to drink with and things like that. And my whole life has really been shaped by this experience. You know, I'm 47 now. I was 13 at the time.
Following the murders, the community banded together in search of clues to help authorities solve the heinous murders.
We're walking the neighborhoods today, handing out flyers and putting out white ribbons in an effort to find the murderers.
With little physical evidence and DNA technology at that point in its infancy, investigators faced obstacles from the start.
The yogurt shop murders crime scene investigation was especially challenging because of the fire and then because of the water that was used to try to put that fire out.
Nearly a decade after the killings, 2 men were convicted of capital murder despite the lack of physical evidence. Those convictions were overturned on constitutional grounds, and those 2 were released in 2009. Both of them were later cleared by DNA testing.
When those boys were first being investigated, they weren't able to use DNA evidence to eliminate them, which, as we know, happened later on in the investigation.
For years, the case went cold until this summer when new testing on a .380 caliber shell casing left at the scene, plus DNA found underneath the fingernails of one victim, Amy Ayers, implicated Brashers.
I'm sorry that it took 30, 40 years for us to get here, but we're here now, and Amy's final moments on this earth were to solve this case for us. It's because of her fighting back.
Genealogist Linsey Moore was the first to link Brashers to a spate of separate killings. On the show Genetic Detective, she traced his trail of murders and sexual assaults through Florida, South Carolina, Tennessee, and Missouri.
And I found just one thing after another that supported my theory in this case.
Moore's work helped authorities connect the dots. Brashers was a serial killer, but the extent of the horror was unknown until now.
I would continue to go back and revisit his timeline and try to identify cold cases that might be attributed to him. But it never occurred to me that the yogurt shop murders was something that he had done as well.
Even though Brashers is long gone, Jennifer and Sarah's mother, Barbara, says she's grateful for the answer she does have, even if the grief never leaves her.
When you have missing people, there's no closure to missing. Your heart is ripped forever. I got a big old scar tissue on that heart, and sometimes that's hard to get around, but it's a different, there is no closure.
And Sonora, she's now a psychotherapist helping others with their trauma, hopeful she can leave some of her pain in the past.
What a relief it will be to get some distance from December 6th, to go out feeling a little bit lighter, engage with friends and family, start making new stories, putting this story behind us, and just letting this one go.